Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to finish our lesson about the Philippine history, the pre-colonial period, and specifically we will discuss about customs of the Tagalogs. Okay, this is only the continuation of our lesson before you will take your prelim. Okay, so they said the value and richness of culture, traditions, and belief of our ancestors, for they will give us the answer of today's picture of society. And the content of this is from Jose de Plasencia, the one who is responsible in writing the different customs of the Galogs. Okay? And he is also the author of Doctrina Christiana, which is the first printed book in the Philippines. He has also different works. This is the look of the customs of the Tagalogs book, and I divided the topic with the different groups. Like we have here, first we have the society, we have the different modes of dressing, like we have kangan, bahag, putong, baro or saya. We have patadjong, tapis, and these are the looks. We have also the ornaments. We have columbiga, pendants, bracelets, and we also use tattoos, not for only for fashion, but also it tells about the history of a certain tribe. We have the del Pentados, term coined by the Spaniards for Visayans, because part of the culture is putting tattoos in their bodies. Examples: we have the Bontoc men, and we have the different kinds of houses. We have bahay kubo, made from wood, bamboo, nipa palm, and they are fond of building their houses near the bodies of waters until such time they learn how to do the farming. We have also the Bajaus build their houses on boats, and that is part of their way of living. We have social classes. We have nobles, mahadlika, which is known as freemen, and untouchables. We have alipin, and if you are a bachelor, they use gat or lakan in addressing you. We have different kinds of alipin. We have namamahay, sagigilid, and you will consider as you will earn your status as alipin if it is in base of inheritance, captivity, purchase, failure to settle debts, and committing a crime. In Visayas, we have three kinds of alipin. We have tumataban, tumarumpok, and ayuyay. And about the status of the women, uh, the society has a high regards with them, and men walk behind with women as a sign of respect. They can be also the head of the tribe. The marriage or marriage customs, we have what you call uh, asawa, and the concubines are called friends. They do courtship. Usually begins with paninilbihan. We have different conditions before you can marry a woman. We have bigay kaya, panghihimuyat, bigay suso, himaraw, and in among the zambals, we have what's called sabon. Then after that, we have pamamanhikan, pamamalae, or pamumulungan. Then the one who will officiate the wedding is babaylan, and they are fond of throwing and cook rice in the couple after the wedding ceremony. And this is the example of babaylan. Uh, there is a written record na merong lalaki, pero mostly they are babae or they are women. These are examples of the ceremonies. And in the Muslim, they have the custom of fixed marriage. Meron din silang stages ang pag-aasawa. First, we have pananalanguni or betrothal. They have the dowry. Then you need to settle that with the chief or what you call pitsungun. And it has seven kinds. We have Kawasateg, Siwaka, Enduwatuan, Pangatulian, Tatas, Langkad, and Lekat. In the Tagalog, we have the Babaylan. In our brothers Muslim, they have Haji. Then the wedding ceremony is called as Pegkawing. They have also fan of mixed marriages and inheritance and succession. They they explain that the one half of legitimate child's inheritance, that is, we have the natural children inherit only a third of inheritance of legitimate children. That is the old times. Yung one half is the new, or the present times condition. We have the politics. The first boat came here in the Philippines is called Balangay, which is carrying a lot of people to enough to build their own society, or now we called it as barangay. Okay, and in the present time, the 30 to 100 families, that is the common number of one barangay, uh, common number or the population of one barangay. So the barangay came from the word barangay. Okay. Barangays were headed by chieftains called Datu, which is the head, the chieftain, the one who will manage the activities in the barangay. So the subjects serve their chieftain during the wars, voyages, planting, harvest, and when they are housed, they need to build and repair. They also pay tributes called buwis to continue the function of the datu and protect the barangay. The chieftain or the datu, also known as the executive, legislator, judge, or the supreme commander of in the times of war. Ibig sabihin, class, lahat ng function ng government ay nasa kanya. He also do the alliances to by the doing the ritual sanduguan. The conflicts among the different barangays can be settled through violence or force. So the government in the Muslim Mindanao, we have, syempre, meron pa rin datus in every barangays, but these barangays answer to the sultans of Sulu and Maguindanao. And syempre, itong mga sultans ito, until now, meron pa rin silang ganon. Okay? And this, yung kada barangay, sultanates ang term. Only the sultan can declare war, handle relations with the foreigners. And the sultan relied on the advice from Ruma Bichara, which is the Council of Elders. In Tagalog, so we have also the elders, and they are called as the advisors. Sultan were expected, according to Scott, to be loyal and skilled in Islam. Or otherwise, kung hindi ka skilled or wala ka masyadong alam sa Islam, papalitan ka nila kasi they have high regards with their religion. Okay? They're also visiting Pandita, Islamic scholars from the Arabia, and the Malay word Maju. The laws, man, if before may pinaniniwalaan ng mga Filipino na meron tayong Code of Kalansiaw until sa time na nagkaroon ng correction na wala namang Code of Kalansiaw. Dito naman, they're either customary, handed down from the generation to generation orally, or written, promulgated from time to time as necessary arouse. Dealt with the various subjects such as inheritance, property, rights, divorce, usury, family relations, divorce, adoption, and loans and everything. Some of their laws, or I mean, all of their laws ay nagagawa lang yan kapag nagkakaroon ng problem. If the situation is not making a commotion in their barangay or any not causing any problem with the barangay, hindi naman yan papansinin ng isang sultan. And basically naman, nagkakaroon lang sila ng bagong batas base din sa concern at epekto nito sa situation nila. Okay. However, it must be noted that ancient did not believe in endangering society by letting loose a gang or of thieves or at recidivists who are incapable of reform. Unfortunately, continuation of such beliefs leads to justifying extrajudicial killings. And syempre, kalaban na natin dito yung Universal Declaration of Human Rights na bawal na itong gawin. Legislation, and before the law was made, the chieftain consults or sumangguni with the council elders to approve of his plan. Not kasi 'di ba sinabi ko kanina na everything na decision with the government or with the barangay ay nanggagaling sa datu or sultan. But kinakailangan pa rin niya ng honest opinion or advice ng elders para malaman niya what is the advantage of this and disadvantage of that particular rules or law. Okay, pero class, may mga pagkakataon na yung dato at sultan ay hindi nahihintayin ang kung ano pa naman sasabihin ng sultan ay ng mga elders sa kanya. Okay? Pwedeng ganon. Kung gaano kapangyarihan at katapang ang namumuno, pwede naman yon. Pero tandaan na ang kanilang community ay malaki pa rin ang respeto with the elders. And then after na meron ng law na may pasa or mapagkasunduan, i-announce na umalokan in everyone, and madalas yan sa plaza yan ina-announce. Diyan, judicial process. May court sila, class. Okay? They have the court. Siyempre, ang head ng ng investigation committee ay yung dato pa rin or the sultan. And siyempre, health pa din yan ng mga elders. Okay? Meron silang, nagtutok din sila ng oath to tell the truth. Most of the time, one who presents the most witness wins the case. If the losing party contests the decision, he is bound to lose in the end because the chief always take the side of the winner. So wala din. Kapag may decision na at nagreklamo ka pa rin, wala ka na magagawa. Ang paniniwalaan pa rin is the first decision at hindi na babali ang desisyon ng isang datu or ng sultan. Pero, class, may pero pa rin yun kasi most of the time ganun yung nangyayari. Pero kapag meron namang binibigay na evidences at mas marami pa siyang maipapakita na mga witnesses na magbibigay ng statements, pwedeng magbago yun. Pero napaka-rare nga. Yan, trial by ordeal. Pwede yung through wrestling, pagduelo, suntukan, ganun. Para lang malaman kung sino ang nagsasabi ng totoo or hindi. Sino ang nagnakaw, ganun. Mayroong pinapatakan ng kandila, nilulubog sa tubig, kaya pinapakain ng mga bigas, tapos idudura yun. Depende kung ano yung maisip at ano yung kasalanan na pinag-uusapan natin. Pwedeng papakagat ka sa mga langgam, ang unang umiyak or unang magsalita, ay siya yung may kasalanan. Okay, this is the bultong, the wrestling. Next, we have the religion. Animism, yung nagiging pinapractice ng mga Tagalogs or ng Filipinos. Pareho na yun. They are believing na meron tayong bathalang may kapal, which is the creator. We have Dinayale, the god of agriculture, Sidapa, god of death, and many more, class. Yung mga nandyan, marami yan. And sa Visayas, mas marami pa yan, class. Kasi binibigyan nila ng mga paliwanag ang mga kakaibang mga nangyayari para sa kanilang paningin, sa kanilang environment. Kailangan may paliwanag sila sa sa community kung bakit nangyayari yun. And they need to do a search as everything thing para matigil to. Kaya na-discover nila yung mga pag-aalay, pagpapadugo, na-invent din nila yung yung pakikipag-usap sa other world. Ayan, that is an example. So meron tayong pagkakaparehas with the tradition in terms of their religion sa mga Southeast Asian nations. Kasi nga, like yung Balangay, yung mga Malaysia nandun, galing yun sa Southeast Asia na nag-transfer here in the Philippines and nag-build ng community. So, also show respect for animals and plants like crocodile, crow, tigmamanukin, some some trees were not also cut because they were thought to be divine. May mga ganyan pa rin naman ngayon, class. Pero ngayon kasi, bago ka magputol ng puno, kailangan mo dapat ng DNR permit eh. Naalala nyo yung mga ano, pag umiihi kung saan-saan, sorry for the term, pag umiihi kung saan-saan, nagsasabi ng tabi-tabi po. Because they're believing na yung mga lugar na yon, yung mga halaman na yon, yung mga puno na yon, ay may nagbabantay ng mga diwata or mga spirits, and we need to respect them. Disease were thought to be caused by the temper of the environmental spirits. Filipinos also venerated the dead by keeping alive their memory by carving idols of stone, gold, or ivory called likha or larawan. Siyempre, walang siyang picture nun eh. Ayan, nag-aalay din sila o nag-aatang sa mga patay kapag nagkakaroon sila ng event sa kanilang pamilya. Okay? And they have anitos or diwatas, and doon nila nilalagay yung offering nila. And yung mga anitos were considered bad, however, they made offerings to them too in order to appease them to the place, placate their anger. And yung babaylan ng ang nakikipag-usap. And then in Visayas, may tinatawag tayong baylana or katalona. Yan sila yung mga medium na nakikipag-usap doon. And if ito-trace natin yung pag-fan ng mga Filipino with the different images or sculptures ng mga saint natin ngayon, nanggaling yun syempre sa anito or diwata. Okay, kasi ayaw nilang magsamba sa hindi nila nakikita. Okay, sige, lagyan natin ng image, lagyan natin ng ng rebulto. Ayan, di iyan yun. Hanggang ngayon, nadadala pa rin ng mga Pilipino. And, di ba, sinasabi ng ibang religion na hindi mo dapat sinasamba ang mga rebulto kasi there is a piece of wood. Diba? Pero pagkakaiba tayo ng paniniwala, as long as alam natin kung ano yung tama at mali at di natin pinipili ang mali, goods yan naman, class. Okay? Burial, syempre, wooden coffin, like the hanging coffins na makikita natin sa Mountain Province. Then, may mga professional mourners. Yan yung mga crying lady sa film. Ayan, sila yung umiiyak. Okay. Then, lagi naka-fetus position ang mga Pilipinong mga nilalagay sa mga coffins noon. Kasi naniniwala sila na yun yung position mo nung nasa loob ka ng tiyan ng nanay mo at dun ka rin babalik sa ganong position. Kasi naniniwala sila sa life after death. Or what you call the reincarnation. Ayan, that is the look. And the relatives of the dead wore rattan bands around their arms, legs, necks. They abstained from eating meat and drinking wine as sign na sila ay namatayan. Okay? The ancient distinguish mourning for a woman from a man, moratal for women, and manghalahi for men. Mourning a dead chief called laraw, and this was accompanied by certain provisions like engaging in pretty quarrels, wars, carrying dangers with hits of the normal position, singing boats coming from the sea or river to wearing loud cloths. Okay? Ayun yung class? Manunggol jar, yung cover, yung takip. Yan, that is the look. And I know that you are particular with that one, and that is very precious in terms of the Filipino culture. Kasi maraming nakitang mga manunggol jar in the Philippines, meron din sa Palawan. And syempre nakita nila yon with human body. Ayun yung mga yung mga patay noon. In the present time, yung mga yan ay may mga nasa National Museum. Makikita niyo yung mga example na ganyan. Yung mga different images yan, and yung mga depende yan sa tribe. Okay, kung sino yung diwata or the spirit na pinaniniwalaan nila. Okay, then some ancient fasted limited their nutrition or vegetable among the Tagalogs were called sipa. Relatives of the dead who was murdered would not end their mourning until they were exacted the vengeance or balata. Ngayon, 'di ba, pag pinatay, ganun, kasi hindi pa nahanap yung pumatay, 'di ba may sisiw, 'di ba? Nilalagyan ng sisiw. Kada tuka daw nung sisiw ay ano, ah, kada tuka din daw sa puso para makonsensya yung pumatay. Diba? Yun yung paniniwala ng mga Pilipino. Ayan. The celebration held on the ninth night after the death of the person called Pasham. Ayan, in which they call it Tibaw. This is the stage to honor the death. Yun yung 9 days sa paglalakbay niya going to the other world, kung saan man siya mapupunta at kung ano pinaniniwalaan ng ng tribe. Ayan, they have also divination and magic charms, or the anting-anting. Ayan, they interpret the different signs, like yung pag nakakita ng blackbird, no, tumahol yung aso, kapag yung lizard gumagawa ng certain sound, ayan. Pwede siya maging good or bad luck para sa ating lahat. Di ba, pag nakakita na yung na black cat, ang nasa isip natin, malas yun or may mangyayaring masama. Okay. They also consulted with the pangatauhan or soothsayers to tell their fortunes. Kasi may manghuhula ngayon meron din silang panghuhula at that time. There was also a belief in the existence of aswang, mangkukulam, manggagaway, mangkukulam din. Tiyanak, tiyanak, or tikbalang. Okay, may anting-anting, gayuma, odom o tagabulag, wiga or sagabe, and tagalhupa. Okay? Ayan, ang dami nating pananiniwalaan during that time. 'Di ba? Kahit naman nung bata pa si Rizal, kinukwentuhan siya lagi tungkol sa mga aswang ng kanyang ano, ng kanyang tigapagbantay or ng kanyang tiyan, tawag niya doon. Then, ngayon, ewan ko lang kung meron pa nagbebenta ng ganito sa Quiapo, pero I think wala na. Dahil sa Western culture. Ayan. Na wala na yung iba't ibang paniniwala natin regarding this. And napatunayan din naman natin kasi sa ngayon, siguro noon gumagana, pero ngayon, alam naman natin na hindi na gumagana. Diba? Makamahina na ang connection natin sa mga iba't ibang mga spirits. Okay? Then the result was bending of pagan and Christian beliefs that made Filipino Catholicism unique. Kasi pinaghalo, or doon pa rin yung paniniwala natin sa paganism. Pero ang religion na natin ay Catholicism. Okay? Pero I think hindi naman tayo lahat same. Okay? Ay nangyari. At tinuro din ng simbahan na against sa will ni God yung mga iba't iba nating pinaniniwalaan. Ayan, yung mga example, mga swang. The economic life, ayan, syempre, fan pa rin tayo ng rice, coconut, sugarcane, cotton, hemp, bananas, and many more. Syempre, may tinatawag tayong kaingin system, yung pagsusunog at pagpuputol ng mga pananim, and tillage. When the Spaniards came to the Philippines, they noted that Cebu and Palawan were abundant in many agricultural foodstuff. Ayan, like, mga ganyan. And ginamit tayo ng Spain para makipagkalakalan sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo. Kaya nauso ang Manila, Acapulco trading. Ayan. Siyempre, yung rice terraces na isa pa rin pinag-iisipan sa panahon ngayon kung paano ginawa ng mga Ifugao. Okay. Land holding were either public, less arable land could be tilled freely by anyone, and private rich cultivated lands belong to nobles and datus. Some rented and paid in gold or in kind. May na-harvest ba, hinira mo yung lupa, na-harvest ka doon, hatian mo yung may-ari. Ngayon, hindi na yan nangyayari. And for sure naman, may iba sa inyo nakarating na ng rice terraces. And syempre kumakain ng sinaing na bigas. Wala, nasa kultura na natin yan. At syempre, iba kasi yung iba kasi yung kulturang kinagisnan ni Juan de Plasencia, kaya kahit yung pagsasaing naka-record sa kanya. Okay? Yeah, syempre mahilig pa rin ang mga tao sa pork or venison, carabao, wild buffalo meat. Fermented sap of palm trees and junk. It is a liquor called tuba, alak natin. Distilled tuba and create lambanog. So the livestocks, we have chicken, pigs, goats, carabaos, and small native ponies. Fishing, bow and arrow, spear, recur basket, hooks, lines, coral fishing, lahat ng mano-mano class. Okay? And ang pinakamaraming pearl na matatagpuan sa Pilipinas ay sa Sulu. Kaya malapit na yun sa Taiwan. And ang mga tao doon, basic na sa kanila ang pagmamayari ng pearl. Ayan. Then, syempre, they are fan of the mining, limbering and shipping building. Ayan. Para sa kanilang agriculture, for their economic life. Okay? Tapos naging part na ng festival natin, like yung yung Vinta, na nilalagyan nila ng iba't ibang makukulay na mga layag. Ayan, meron tayong paraw, bangka, lapis, balangay, karakoa. Ayan. Sample of Vinta. Weaving. Ayan. Magaling yung mga Pilipino dito kasi magaling tayo mag-harvest ng mga fibers na galing sa mga halaman na matatagpuan in the environment. Ayan. Ayan, sinamay from hemp, renduque from banana, cotton, linen, silk were woven. And dito natin na-express isang paraan para ma-express natin yung creativity natin. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, yung mga damit nila may certain na mga patterns kasi may specialized na tao na nag-weave noon. Trading, syempre mga karatig bayan natin or karatig bansa like China, Siam, Japan, Cambodia, Borneo, Sumatra, Java, Old Malaysia. Nung pumunta yung mga European, pinalawak lang nila yung natin. Trading partners natin. Okay. Several Sulu sultans even sent tribute to missions to China. Ayan, may magagandang relationships tayo sa mga neighboring countries natin nung panahon na to. Ayan, kung ano yung mga malalapit, like for example, itong area na to, yung mga trading partners natin. Karating tayo dito, ayan, karating tayo dyan. Ayan, dito yung maraming mga pearl. Ayan, sometimes ang pupunta yan dyan, dabiyahin nila yan dyan. Ayan, dito sa, ayan, mga nasa baba natin. Ayan. The culture, ayan, the major languages, or the dialects na ginagamit sa Philippines ay napakarami. We have Tagalog, Ilocos, Pangasinan, Pampanga, Sugbuhanon, Ilagaynon, Sumarnon, Samarlete, and Maguindanao. Ang dami class. Ayan, because syempre, malaki ang mga isla ng mga Pilipinas. Ayan. Pero syempre, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 major dialects in the Philippines. Yung Pilipino natin class or yung lingwahe natin ginagamit na Pilipino ay hindi naman nalalayo din sa lingwahe ginagamit ng mga Southeast Asian nations. May mga pagkakaparehas pero dahil meron tayong tinatawag na iba't ibang mga kultura, pare-parehas ang tawag pero iba yung gamit sa mga salita. Okay, may mga ganon. At meron din namang mga pare-parehas ang salita at pare-parehas din ang ibig sabihin. Ayan, yung mga term ng pakikipagkalakalan like mura, mahal, buwan. Ayan. Meron silang pagkakapareha sa ibig sabihin sa mga Southeast Asian nations. Yung mga malayo, bahasa malayo, yan, medyo may pagkakaparehas sa atin. Sa Indonesia, may mga words din na pare-parehas. Pero yung iba, ang alam ko kasi, halimbawa, yung term na ketchup, in Indonesia, pag sinabing ketchup, there is toyo. Ayan, iba naman sa atin. Tapos yung piko, yung larong piko or the hopscotch in English, piko yung term din nila sa Indonesia, sa Philippines, piko din. Sungka, ganun din. And that is the route ng pakikipagkalakalan. And system of writing, we have Syllabary, or that is the probably the Sanskrit or Arabic provenance by the syllabary, consisted with the 17 syllables. And the Father Pedro Quirino theory that the ancient wrote the top to bottom and from left to right. Ayan, baybayin. Mamaya gagawa kayo ng ganyan. Ayan. Then pwede silang magsulat sa puno, sa trunk, sa bamboo, ayan. And din yung reason, class, kung bakit kung bakit ilan lang yung nag-survive ng mga evidences. Okay? Only few of these writings and ay natagpuan ng mga archaeologists. Okay? Kasi pag ganyan yung pagsusulatan mo, nagdi-decay yan, nasisira, nabubulok. Ayan. Kaya mostly ngayon sa ngayon ng mga pre-colonial culture ay pinapasa orally. Accepted naman yun as primary source. Pero class, ngayon kasi pasalamat tayo kay Plasencia at sa iba't ibang mga researchers. Then, ironically, the early Spanish missionaries preserved the indigenous scripts according to Ambeto Campo, and the example of that is the Doctrina Christiana contained by Bayin. Ayan. Matatagpuan niya sa Archivo de la Universidad de Santo Tomas, has the oldest existing baybayin document. Ayan. We have the Laguna copper plate inscription. Pag-uusapan natin yan, that's part of your research kasi. Ayan. With the literature, next we have the literature. Ayan. In the literature, meron silang syempre bugtungan or the riddle. And ewan ko ngayon kung alam nyo pa yung mga ganito, yung mga bugtungan. Pero nung bata pa ako, class, yung bugtungan ay ginagawa lang namin sa may patay. Yun kasi yung paniniwala ng mga matatanda noon. Magbugtungan lang daw pag may patay. Pero ngayon, pwede naman na magbugtungan na kahit walang patay. Okay? They have Suliranin and Indulanin, which is street songs, Sabi, the maxim, Sawikain, saying, Talindao, both songs, Diyunan, song of rivalry, and many more. ang daming kanta ng mga Pilipino. Pero sad to say, dahil nga walang nagmamana, wala nang gustong aralin tong mga to dahil wala rin naman nagsusulat or walang nagre-record. Yung iba dito na mga namamatay na or hindi na nangyayari. At ngayon, syempre mas gusto nyong kantahin yung mga kanta ni Lady Gaga, ni Taylor Swift, at kung sino pa mga artist ang inyong mga pina-follow. 'Di ba? Kasi sino ba naman kasi gusto pang kumanta ng mga ganito? Aminin na natin, hindi naman tayo lahat ay gusto pa yung mga ganito. Kaya yung mga indigenous tribes natin ang mga nagtutuloy nito. Okay? Pero I'm sure lang na every event na meron sila in their tribe ginagawa or meron silang certain song, it's either ino-honor nila, masaya sila, malungkot sila, binagbibigay sila ng honor with the deities, ayan. Kaya sila nagkakaroon ng iba't ibang mga songs. And masaya yun kasi nag-ano na rin yun way of storytelling and preserving the beliefs and culture ng mga Filipino during that time. Siyempre may dance din sila, yung mga folk dances natin, lahat yan may ibig sabihin. Karamihan, way of life ng mga Pilipino, yung mga dance steps nila. Kung hindi man ganoon, yung alay nila yung sayaw na yun sa mga Diyos nila or sa mga diwata, bathala. Ayan. Pati nga yung war, may dance war din sila, diba? Tapos may sayaw din sila para sa mga heroes nila. Then dramas develop into different forms such as pagbati, karagatan, tagayan, pananapatan, sabalan, and tibaw, and karagatan. Debate in the versorship what as a problem resolved into develop into duplo during the Spanish period, then into the balagtasan. Ayan. Yan. Gagawin din naman natin yung balagtasan na yan. Tatry lang natin. Tingnan natin kung kaya nyo. Diba? Or yun yung mga makatang pamamaraan ng pakikipagdebate. Then, Maranao literature, we have consistently tutul or folktale, tubad-tubad, short love poem, pananaraon, sayings, sowa-sowa, drama, antoka, riddle or puzzle, darangan, epic poetry. Ilocano literature, syempre meron tayong dalot, song during the baptismal party, wedding, feast, badeng, love song sung in the serenade, and dungaw, the dirge. Filipino were fond of composing epic poetry. Ayan, like etong epic poetry na to, class, ang lagi nagiging topic niyan, yung halimbawa, love story, pagiging isang hero ng isang member ng tribe, buhay ng isang datu, ayan. And madalas yan, class, pag epic or epiko, ay tumatagal ng 1 buwan, 2 buwan, pinakamahaba, 3 buwan, ayan. Meron tayong hudhud and alim, biyag nilamang, ayan, di bantugan, Indarapatra at Sulaiman, and Bidasari with the Muslims. Okay. Ayan, nagiging stage play na rin to. And music and dance, ayan, mayroon tayong yung Kudyapi as the guitar, and Bansik and came with the host nagsa small guitar, Inegritos of Luzon, Adafi, Malay music instrument, Igorots, gongs, juice, harp, bamboo, and most of this class most of these instruments ay improvise lang nila before until na-polish nila into musical instrument na until now may gumagamit pa rin at hindi lang mo lang makikita sa sa museum. Okay, may nose flute din sila, and meron silang deodo-as or panpipe made from 7 bamboos. Ayan, or reeds tingguans. Ayan, yung nose flute. Ewan ko nakakita na kayo ng mga ganito. Pero alam mo, pag narinig nyo to, maririnig nyo yung tunog ng kalikasan. Yun kasi in-imitate nila noong una, yung tunog ng kalikasan. Hanggang naka-produce sila ng rhythm, nalapatan nila ng kanta or ng lyrics, naayos nila kanilang mga instrument. Ayun yung history ng kung paano nagkaroon ng traditional music ang mga Filipino. Examples of the native dances which depict different events include potato dance, torture dance, dual dance, love dance, the makasla dance, kinotan or ants dance, hat dance, kinalyogon, balitaw, dandansoy, balatong, dalit niraw, kutang-kutang, lulay, indolanin, kumintang, salampati, subli, ayan. Then, syempre, it shows the Filipino have songs and dance almost all occasions because of their frequent association, their social organization, as well as well-knit than it's today. Even today, every Filipino party has a karaoke machine. Naku-convert lang siya. And yung naalala nyo with pamamanhikan sa mga provinces, maraming dances ang ginagawa doon. Minsan sa ibang tribe, kailangan munang makinig matapos ang epiko. Okay? Kailangan nilang sumayaw ng nagliligawan, ganon. Yun yung tradition before. At napakakulay nga. Siyempre arts, ayan, primitive tools and weapon, ayan. And class, yung tungkol sa art nila, madalas ang mga designs yan ay nakabase kung ano yung madalas nila makita in their environment. Diba? Pag face-to-face, papakita ko sa inyo yung thoughts ko. Okay? Then, yung mga shapes niyan, yung elements niyan, ayan. Tapos, kung ano yung present with their society or their barangay, yun ginagamit nila. Okay, napakakulay ng Filipino art kasi marami tayong indigenous materials na pwede nating gamitin and convert natin as part ng pagiging Pilipino at as part of the art. Diba na nagiging unique to kasi unique din ang environment na meron tayo. And it makes attractive sa mga iba't ibang mga dayuhan dito sa Pilipinas noong mga panahon na yun. Diba? Kahit nga yung mga kasuotan, makikita mo ang daming kulay. Pero isip mo, paano ba nila to kinulayan? Paano nila discover? Diba? Through trial and error din naman yan, class. Then, Iron Age, siyempre may mga bracelets sila, rings, headbands. And then, yung mga nila, yung mga jewelries na nila ay nag-symbol kung ano yung status symbol, ay status nila in the community. Yan, they have sari manok and utensils nila, may mga naka-engrave na kung ano-ano, pero malalim ang ibig sabihin sa kanila. Imagine, wala pang technology nung panahon na yan. Mano-mano nilang ginagawa yan. Yung gangsa na part din sa paggawa nila ng music. Yan, zigzag signs, ancient time tubes, and ornament carvings on the combs of Negrito influence. Indonesian influence can be seen in the apparel of Kalingas, Maranaos, Manobos, Bagobos. Malay influenced the trace of the wood carvings found in utensils, boat, and wooden shells in the people of Sulu, Mindanao Mountain Province. Okay? And yun yung influensya at dala ng pakikipagkalakalan, pakikipagsangduguan or pakikipagkaibigan, pakikipag mixed marriage ng mga Pilipino sa mga trading partners natin. Sa kalasag, yan, nakikita mo sa mga pinto, ayan. Kaya yung mga old churches, class, makikita nyo doon yung mga carvings doon. Ayan. Kahit na tungkol yun sa sa relihiyon, yun pa rin ay gawa ng mga Pilipino. Napaka creative. Ayan. Islamic influence can be gleaned from the ornamental decorative art of the Lanao Muslims. Must represent the geometric and plants designs because Islam is iconoclastic. Ifugao art deals with the human and animal representations, but not fish and plant forms. Ifugao art is functional. Yan, yung mga example. Yung mga instruments nila, musical instruments nila, mapapansin niyo may mga naka-engrave din doon. Okay? Then, different tribes cast different symbols and interpretations with their designs. So, that's all. These are my sources. Okay? So, by the next meeting, you will have your second quiz and activity. Okay? Then, we will try the doing or writing your name in baybayin. Okay? So, good luck.